We build AI agents to bring order to our digital lives, but the exact same autonomous judgment that allows a bot to perfectly organize your files gives it the authority to collapse your production database. This is the override problem. The danger doesn't come from malicious code or a rogue intelligence. It is an architectural property built directly into the foundation of autonomous decision-making itself. This systemic override is now moving into how we record our own work. It begins with a subtle shift in who gets credit for the code being written today. A VS Code pull request now forces an AI co-author tag onto every Git commit by default, regardless of actual AI contribution. Because it's strictly opt-out, many developers won't notice. Years of factual, human-only open-source records will be retroactively diluted with false tags. When a system claims autonomy over our history, it turns a factual record of human effort into a marketing signal. It creates a permanent record where developers appear dependent on AI by default, regardless of the reality. That same unpredictability has a direct financial consequence. What started as individual users accidentally running up API bills has scaled into massive institutional budget failures. Take Uber as the primary forensic case study. The company exhausted its entire 2026 budget for AI-assisted coding tools within the first 4 months of the year. The burn rate comes from how agentic workflows operate. They don't rely on flat monthly subscriptions. Instead, a single prompt generates hundreds of invisible, compounding API requests as the AI iterates on a task. These unseen requests triggered astronomical costs, running anywhere from $500 to $2,000 per engineer every single month. A hidden accelerant here is MCP token waste. Every time an agent loads, it injects massive tool definitions into the context window, burning through thousands of tokens before any actual work begins. Because no major provider implemented automatic spending caps, enterprise AI adoption is systematically underestimating the true price of autonomy. Projected cost savings are turning into explosive financial liabilities. To combat these unsustainable API costs and hard usage limits, developers are building their own defenses. The essential new survival skill is model routing. It works through a 2-cent per call strategy. You pair an expensive flagship reasoning model with a secondary, incredibly cheap model designed just for basic tasks. By delegating 70% of routine input-output work to the cheap model, developers are effectively tripling their weekly capacity. The primary AI is strictly reserved for complex logic. When routing isn't enough to bypass commercial restrictions, the open-source community takes a more direct approach. They simply clone the tools. Look at Open Design. Within weeks of Anthropic launching a commercial tool, a fully local, free alternative was replicated, deployed, and hit nearly 16,000 stars on GitHub. Open source replication used to take months. Now it takes weeks. Feature parity is no longer a defensible moat for tech giants competing against a highly motivated community. To see the macroeconomic impact of this frictionless automation, we have to look outside of software. If you look at traditional film sets in the country producing the most movies globally, they are quietly becoming the ultimate testing ground for AI mass production. A staggering 80% of India's film industry is already utilizing AI tools across all levels of their production pipelines. The economic result is drastic. Entire feature films are now being created for as little as $360, compressing years of production time into mere months. This is happening precisely because India lacks Hollywood's union protections. Studios can deploy the technology instantly, displacing 20,000 voice dubbing artists with zero regulatory pushback. When zero friction is applied to autonomous technology, legacy workflows don't evolve. They are instantly vaporized. Studios can rewrite the entire economics of a production overnight, bypassing the workers who previously defined the industry. So how does a society defend itself against this kind of automation? The only proven blueprint right now is coming from higher education, where they are abandoning the screen entirely. University professors are abandoning failed software-based AI detectors. Instead, they are structurally redesigning their entire courses from scratch. This old-school movement is returning assessments to in-class discussions, personal reflection, and fully handwritten evaluations. These structural shifts work because they intentionally require the one thing a language model cannot reliably fabricate or shortcut: authentic, in-person human friction. Surviving this shift towards total automation requires moving past what the models are capable of doing. It demands intentionally designing systems that preserve human control, accountability, and agency.